Hey, welcome back to another episode of It's a Football Thing. As always, I'm your host, RJ, and I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts and champion mates, Scott the Gooner and Rob the Red Devil. How are we, gents?
Good evening. Well, and you?
Buonasera, good evening.
Buonasera indeed, and give a big shout out to the live chat and thanks for those who've joined us. And for those who are in, you might notice this obscure hat I'm wearing. And why is this guy wearing a party hat? And the theme behind that is it's my son Sebastian's 6th birthday today, and I thought in honor of him, I thought I'd wear this nice looking hat to try to improve my look. So we'll see how we go with that. Tonight though, blockbuster episode, we've got the match week 3 preview, we've got FPL ins and outs, and of course we've got the key transfer updates that have been happening, as I'm sure you've all been keeping very abreast of. But before we get into any of that good stuff, if you are new to the channel, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe as it helps us reach a wider audience. How are we going with the live chat? We've got a few people in here, Scott.
Yeah, we've got Yusuf in here. Big ups, Yusuf. Nice to see you back, my man. Daniel's in here. Big episode tonight. Come on, Chelsea. Daniel, nice to have you back, my friend. Make sure you've got your pen and paper ready because the predictions are going to be throughout the show tonight. And we got Ben in the live chat too. Evening, Ben. Yeah, and happy birthday to Sebi, RJ's little one, and to Rob's daughter. It was her birthday yesterday. I know Eliana and Sebi are big fans of the pod. That they don't miss it on their way to school or preschool. So big ups to them and a happy birthday. Boys, before we jump into Premier League, can I just quickly say, I haven't had much to celebrate this season. Euros, France got knocked out. Arsenal's first 2 Premier League matches, not so good. But what a lethal performance this morning. 6-0. It was sexy football. Beautiful. Aubameyang with a hat-trick. I'm not saying we're going to beat Man City. I'm just saying I'm glad our goal of the month didn't have to come from our training videos. It was nice to see him win. I was stoked. Really stoked. And we've got some more people in here. Davide's in. Big ups, Davide. He's back, Mr. Concierge of Crime. Relegation party commencing this week. We'll talk. Don't worry, we'll talk. And declared, finally speaking some truth. Arsenal are back, baby. But I just want to say I'm happy for once. It's so nice. God, it's nice to win a match.
I'm happy for you, Scott, because all you need to do is just tell them they've got to just don't worry about winning games in the Premier League, but at least score a couple goals in the Premier League. That's all they need to work on, baby steps. You know what I mean? Don't want to get too excited.
I'm not a fussy man. I'm not fussy. I just want to see a goal here and there. I don't want to be scrounging through training videos to see a goal.
I hear you, mate.
Hey, how about we jump right into this? Also, after we get through all the fixtures, and it's a little bit of a different format because we have split the normal Thursday night show into 2. So on Tuesday nights, we're going back and looking at the match week and reviewing it, talking about the talking points and what's happened. And now on Thursday nights with this new format, we are looking purely ahead. So we're not going back, looking at the matches coming up. We'll talk about each one by one, and we'll do our predictions as we go. So hopefully you enjoy it. We always love your feedback. Let us know what you think of the new structure. But kicking off this week,
Cracking game, hey?
Arsenal. Another big one. The people doing the draws do not like us over at Arsenal. What an awful draw. Master versus Apprentice. Pep versus Arteta. I might go last on this one just to get your general thoughts. And don't forget your predictions, boys, because I know Daniel's listening. Robbie, you first, man.
Yeah, mate, it'll be interesting to see how this plans out. Obviously, you guys have the game today, and City's had a little bit extra rest. I think the confidence will be great for you guys, and good to see. I watched your game, or most of it this morning. It was good to see a lot of returns. Aubameyang obviously got the hat-trick, Lacazette, Pepe, Saka, all on the score sheet. So it's good to get minutes in the legs, and obviously goals as well for confidence-wise. So, yeah, it will be good. Obviously, going to be coming up again, like I said, a master and apprentice in both by the look of it. You got your top echelon of your city at the moment, and you got you guys where you guys are at the moment. Yeah, if I'm going to give a prediction for this game, I actually think it's going to be a tight one. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I'm going to go for a 2-1 maybe to City this one.
Interesting. What about you, RJ? Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, some very reasonable sentiments from Robbie there. And I think the thing that I would highlight is that the win that you guys had this morning, Scott, was very encouraging at least from a morale boosting perspective, which is important because obviously the morale was down in the gutters and you guys just really struggled not to just win games, but at least to string up a couple goals and just feel what that's like again. And I mean that in the most serious of ways. And I think that's going to inspire them to at least have that stronger feeling that we're not going in there with our total doom and gloom hats on. But I think that City enter this contest high on confidence, knowing that they've gotten it together, albeit against a lower opponent in who they versed last match with Norwich. But I think they will win. No, they won't win by as much as they won against Norwich, but I still think it's going to be fairly comfortable for them, although you'll do your best to really try to frustrate them. In the end, I think that they're going to get this one done 2-0, I'd say, just because of how difficult you guys will make it for them, at least initially.
Yeah, fair shout. And with this new structure, I did forget to mention earlier, as we put up the fixtures, if you in the live chat have something you want to add, or you want to add your prediction on that fixture, please chuck it in. We may not get to them all, but chuck it in there. We love seeing them anyway. I'm going to go through some of the live chats before I give my views. As you'd expect, a little bit of banter. But we won't see the true extent of Arsenal's downfall till Big Sam gets them out of relegation. George, wishful thinking, mate. Wishful thinking. Brian, evening, lads. Thank you. Always a nice top lad to have in here. A little bit more banter coming in there. Declared saying it's a very Arsenal thing to bring yourselves up and come crashing down. Concierge of crime giving Aubameyang a rap. Ben's calling 3-0 City. And we've got FPL Rubber Ducky back again. Nice to see you back, my friend. We will be talking some FPL towards the end of the show. Look, for me, you guys know what I'm like. I'm realistic. Of course, I'm pumped that we won this morning. You can't have your cake and eat it too. We had people slagging us off saying that we're a championship team. We lost to a championship team in Brentford. Then we go and do the business and hammer a championship team 6-0, and it's banter zone. You can't have it both ways. You can only beat what's in front of you. I don't care that they played some kids in there. It certainly wasn't our strongest possible lineup either, and you're not going to catch me complaining about a 6-0. But in terms of Man City, I actually think that we needed this more than the extra rest. So I know they've had some extra rest, but if you gave me a choice between coming in on a 6-0 win and an Aubameyang hat-trick or having extra rest, I would take this. Because I say it all the time that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is a confidence player. He thrives on confidence. When he bangs them in, it tends to then happen more regularly. So I actually think we're going to give City a little bit of trouble. I'm thinking Ben White will come back into the team. Lukonga's looked really good. Martin Odegaard gives us another dimension. I actually think we'll give him a hard time. I'm feeling more confident against City than I was against Chelsea.
I'm pretty sure Ben White's ruled out for this one, I think, Borgie.
Oh, did you say he was ruled out? Yeah, look, even without him in there, I like that we played a back three today. Kolasinac came out of nowhere. I don't know where that came from. But I'm hoping we go with the back three because I think we look much better with the back three and the wing backs. So I'm actually going for 1-1 draw in this. I do think we'll trouble City. City did lose to Spurs in the opening week. So I'm thinking there's a bit of inconsistency there too. I hope we pressure them. It would certainly be great for Arteta, relieve a bit of pressessure. But we'll have to
Where's the goal coming from, Scott? That's where I struggle with you guys at the moment. I know you got 6-0. You think so? Okay.
If you saw, two of his goals this morning were really just kind of tap-ins on the back of some brilliant build-up play, though.
The third one was good.
The third goal is classic Aubameyang, taking that touch on the edge of the box, whipping it into the corner. He can do that. This guy has one of the best goal returns in all European football. So he's not a pretender. He's coming off malaria. He's coming off COVID. But a confident Aubameyang is the best Aubameyang. So hopefully he can hit one against Pep. So I'm going 1-1, boys. That's my feeling. There's a couple of quick comments in here I want to look at. FPL Rubber Ducky saying, give Arteta some more time. He had a great defensive record and a terrible squad to work with. I'm not going to get too far into the Arteta debate because a lot of that squad was from him or was renewed. by him, so we won't go too far. I'm not Arteta out. I'm not Arteta in. I'm doing an RJ and sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, mate.
VJ's back. Welcome back, VJ. Cebian. We can see some more Mr. Sparks here. We might score at least. I'm hoping so. So much change of heart after one game. That's football for us. Mate, it's amazing what a win does on the back of two disgusting performances. But let's move on. This isn't the Arsenal show, as much as some of you would like to make it the Arsenal banter show. Very quickly on this one, boys. I don't know if you have anything you want to add. But Brighton Everton. RJ, maybe we start with you. Any quick thoughts, or do you want to go straight to your prediction?
No, not really. All I want to say is that I thought, again, Everton were very strong against Leeds and unlucky not to win, at Ellen Road, which we know is traditionally very difficult for whoever turns up there with that kind of crowd. And Brighton were looking quite strong and are starting to convert some of their chances, although a little bit sloppy. So with that sort of backdrop, I think this has a prospect to be quite an interesting game for the neutral. And I'm going to go, in the end, I'm going to go with a draw on this one, I have to say, and I'm going to lock in a 1-1.
Interesting. Robbie?
Yeah, I took the words out of my mouth, bro. I completely agree with that. I can't pick them apart. I'm going to go 1-1 also.
Yeah, well, this is a very rare occurrence. We're all agreeing on a tip. I'm going for draw too. I think there might be more goals. I'm going 2-2. But Potter certainly showed last season that he can get a performance out of his team. So hopefully, I've got a couple of Brighton players in my fantasy Premier League. Hopefully, they can make me proud.
Brighton are good at home as well. So, like I said, I think it's very evenly matched. So, yeah, I think the home crowd could give them the little bit thing. But I can see them both scoring. It should be a good game. I'll watch this.
Yeah, there you go. And a couple from the live chat. Draw written all over it. You're agreeing with us, my man. That's 4 of us now. FPL Rubber Ducky saying Dominic Calvert-Lewin will struggle scoring from usual headers with Brighton's big defence, going for a 0-0. Draw seems to be the consensus in here. And Tom's just joined us. Welcome, Tom. Nice to have you back in here, my man. All right, boys, let's jump to the next one. Low key, I actually think this is going to be an entertaining game. I don't know why. I've just got a weird feeling about this one.
What are you thinking, Scott? What are you thinking, mate?
Yeah, I'm thinking Southampton to do the business, but I'm feeling some goals. I'm going 3-2 Southampton here. Maybe it's all the goals I saw this morning. I don't know, but I'm just feeling goals this week. Yeah.
Southampton scored 8 themselves this morning. But look, I'm going to give you a quick one. I think Newcastle will get this over the line. I might go for another 2-1, but
2-1 Newcastle. Who scores from Robbie? You think Callum Wilson, Joe Willock?
Yeah. Oh, Callum Wilson double maybe.
Hey, there you go. Hey, RJ, I know Southampton have a Chelsea loanee. Is it Broja?
Amanda Broja.
He played really well this morning from what I could see on Twitter. Do you think he'll have an impact on this match?
He's a bright prospect, and I'm actually glad he's there, to be honest, to get some more game time, because he's sort of like not, and obviously we're not going to compare apples and apples, but he's similar in terms of strength, like Olivier Giroud. He's really good at the hold up. He's got a really nice touch on him, and he's got a decent finish on him too. Obviously very raw, very young. For me, I agree, Scott, a very interesting game, and I'm going to lean towards Rob's score, to be honest. I've just got a feeling that it's at St. James Park, isn't it, this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for me an important factor, so I'm going to lock in a 2-1 also.
Well, can you just bring up the live chat for a sec? From Rubber Ducky again on this one. I think he's got the Livermento.
This one?
I think keep an eye on that Livermento. He done a really
another
good job.
one.
Yeah,
another Blues.
I thought he was from Chelsea as well. He done a really good.
Juniors? Any of them at your club, or are they all just money cows everywhere
how are we
else?
going to win the league? See, what we do is we don't only get Lukaku's and Koundé's. Oh, we won't get to the transfer stuff later, but we don't only get the good players, but we sprinkle all of our Blues dustlings all over the place to help the cause. So, yeah, here's another one. Good shout out, Rubber Ducky.
Yeah, he done a really good job against us last week. Very dangerous. So, yeah, watch out for him.
Okay, let's look at what the live chat's got to say on this one. George keeping up the Arsenal banter form. George will get on well with the Chelsea contingent in here, I think. Mr. Sparks saying Newcastle 3-2. My scoreline just the opposite way around. Southampton 2-1 for VJ. David saying Southampton 3-1. Newcastle are on struggle 3. Yeah. More ambrosia there. And Declared agrees with Robbie. Newcastle to take it. They rested more starters. And just one more. You mean you loan out 40? Spot on. Absolutely.
Hey, we're in the business of winning, okay? When it doesn't work, then I'll take some criticism.
Let's look at this one, boys. Norwich versus Leicester. Robbie, what do you think about this one, man?
I don't know, mate. Norwich, mate. Have they scored a goal yet, or it's been 2 clean sheets for them as well, like you guys? I think again, hard game for them. They need a point, but I still think Leicester's going to have too much quality there, mate. I might go 2-0 this time to Leicester.
Yeah, it's a good call, Robbie. I think even though I think that poor Norwich are getting judged on some really tough fixtures to start the season, so it's a real difficult one to get a proper gauge of where they're at, because sort of like Arsenal, that it's hard being a small club taking on the titans of the Premier League. So once you get past that, you can get past it all. I do think it's disrespect, mate. You got to earn your respect. You've got to earn it, mate. But look, Leicester's going to win this game, in my opinion. I think, but it'll be 3-1 actually.
Well, you've got your Billy Gilmore, and I've got they actually just got one of our guys on loan this week, Brendan Williams, for their right back, I think. So it'll be interesting to say he's not a bad player. So like I said, they're getting players here and there. I'll keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting one to watch. Look, to me, I think Leicester will have too much for them, quite frankly. I'm going for 2-0 Leicester win. You boys have summed it up well. I am loving the new format, guys, getting the predictions from the live chat as we go.
It's actually helping me. I'm reading through them. I'm thinking, you know what? I forgot about that one. I'm going to pluck that one out of the air. So keep up, guys. You're helping me out too.
Absolutely. And for you guys in the live chat, if you haven't already, please hit that like button. If this is the first time you're joining us, make sure you subscribe, share it with a friend or a cousin, brother or a sister. Help us grow this thing. We just hit 350 subs the other day. Proud mini milestone for us. We're on the march to 500. That's the next stop. Let's look what the live chat has to say. I've already put this up, but I'm putting it up again just because I can. AUBA's back. And welcome. First time I've seen you here. Hopefully you're enjoying the show so far. Chelsea's Academy, that's all it proves. RCBN agreeing with us. Give it a thumbs up. Sub. FPL Rubber Ducky. Leicester 3-0. Mr. Sparks made a bit of a comment about how well Chelsea have sold, but we'll get to that in the transfer section. VJ calling 3-0 Leicester. Mr. Sparks calling 3-1 to Leicester. And George is keen to see Brandon Williams. It's make or break for him. So let's see how it goes. But let's jump to the next game, guys. This one, London Derby, West Ham, Palace. My man Patrick Vieira. I think this will be interesting. What are your thoughts on it, Robbie?
To be honest, man, I'm going to go hard on the Hammers again, mate. I just think they've looked really good. They're coming off the back of a big win midweek. I think this is going to be a big one, maybe another 3-0. Antonio's in big form at the moment. 3-0 for me to West Ham.
Yeah, fair call. What about you, Arch?
Yeah, I'm just mindful. Sometimes I get really excited about one team's performance one week, like I did on the United bandwagon, and then they let us all down the next week. But Hammers, they really absolutely shellacked poor old Leicester. But I don't think that's necessarily going to carry across with Palace, because even though we spanked them a little bit, they had an encouraging 0-0 board draw, against Brentford. So again, I'm not saying Brentford's the same as West Ham, but what I think that will mean is Vieira will take a lot of confidence out of that they've really shut up shop. And I think they're going to make it very stressful for West Ham to break them down. But in the end, West Ham will have too much class and confidence to get the job done. And I'm going to lock in a 2-0 to the Hammers. Yeah,
I'm saying it's Hammer time. 3-0 Hammers. They've looked too good. There's some interesting shouts in the live chat as well that we'll bring up in just a moment. But Antonio has been in fine form. Obviously hit that record, which for him would have been a super proud moment. I wouldn't be shocked if he's banging in some more goals again this week. Let's have a look at what the live chat has to say. 2-0 to the Hammers. 4-0 to the Hammers. Antonio hat-trick. Well,
my fantasy will love that.
Yeah, well, not mine because I haven't got him in yet, but we'll talk about that soon. Antonio goal, 1-0 for West Ham. Palace are a wreck. VJ's pointing out the Palace had good defence against Brentford. Have to agree with you there, VJ. And a couple more. Tom saying Zaha has 90 minutes or he's kicking him out of the fantasy team. Mate, I've made that mistake on Zaha so many seasons. I just wasn't going there. I was not going there this year.
He's the hype, isn't he? Just quickly, I don't want to detour the conversation, but he's like the he's always like the bridesmaid, isn't he? He never quite gets married, this poor bloke. He just can't quite seem to go from here to here. He's always stuck in that mid state. I don't know what's with him.
He just needs to catch the gutter. Benny's saying 2-1 to the Hammers.
6-0,
Anthony,
wow.
6-0. You're not calling a Palace win, are you, Anthony? Surely you mean 6-0 to the Hammers. Just let us know.
I think he means nil means Palace, I dare say.
Oh, yeah, I'm guessing it's that much. I'm guessing that's the way too. But just let us know if it is 6-0 to Crystal Palace. I'll be very shocked. And last one, West Ham to continue their solid form. Vieira's still asking for new players. Well, he's got a big job on his hands there. They're an absolute mess. But, I wish him the best of luck. Now, this is a big one. This is huge. I am absolutely looking forward to this one. We might give you the final word on this game, RJ. Liverpool-Chelsea. To me, this comes down to two men. I know it's not as simple as two men, but in my head, I just want to watch Virgil van Dijk and Lukaku.
Yeah.
After watching what Lukaku did to our poor centre-backs last week, I can't wait to see this battle. I feel this is going to be a huge match. And this is the hardest one to predict for me. Even now, I'm clutching at straws to make a prediction because I have no idea. I think Liverpool have been slept on big time. They're definitely going to be in and around that title. But Chelsea, to me, are looking like the team to beat in the league. So I'm going to go with, I think Anfield will help them out. I'm going 2-2. I think Lukaku will hit one as well. But 2-2 in this one. What about you, Robbie?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I think we're all looking forward to the Virgil van Dijk versus Lukaku. I do think Virgil van Dijk will be sticking on him, but not too much, like as we said about the whole turn-in and stuff like that. I do think that Chelsea will get some space down Trent Alexander-Arnold's side, man. He does like to always push up, and yes, Virgil van Dijk covers him, but like I said, just from watching that Burnley game last week, mate, Burnley got through and created chances, so I think Chelsea will definitely will as well. Again, Liverpool's at home. Very tight game. As a United fan, I'd love a draw here, but I actually think Chelsea's going to get this one 2-1.
This is game of the round. This is probably, in my head, game of the season so far. This is going to be absolutely huge. I can't wait. RJ, keen to hear your thoughts, man. Is it going to be party time for Chelsea? Will you be wearing your party hat next stream, or is it done?
This is a bit of foreshadowing, mate, so I like that. So that's a good one. Look, you both covered up pretty well, to be honest with you. Very excited. I'm, trying to take off my metaphorical Chelsea hat here and think what would it be like from an Arsenal, Brentford, Leeds point of view, or whatever, even United, like you said, it'd be nice if we both dropped points to help the cause. And I actually think that it could be something like that. My heart's telling me, of course, back us. We've been playing really well, and why wouldn't you keep going with the good momentum? But I'd be naive to think that to ignore the good form of the hosts as well, especially being buoyed by the return of VVD, he has been playing well. What I will say, and I have mentioned this previously, is that for as good as Liverpool have been, they still concede some very genuine chances against them. Now, it's up to the quality of the opponent who hasn't been there yet to exploit that. And I know Lukaku versus Van Dijk's the headline act, but I actually think that there's some other really key players for us that are going to really step up. And I'm looking to the players like Kante, who didn't start the other day against you guys, but he's looking fresh. He came on. I dare say he will because of the high-octane nature and trying to shut down Liverpool's engine room. But then I'm looking to my wing-backs. I think Chilwell will probably come back for this game, being
I was
fresh.
ask you about
Yeah. And I know
where
this
is he?
whole and this is all sort of FPL related, but I'm just saying the importance will be for me who controls that middle area. So that's why I think Kante is going to get a good grip on that. But equally, who's going to win the battle in terms of the wing backs? The higher up those wing backs get, the more space it opens up. And I actually think that we will probably concede a lot of possession, knowing that Liverpool are going to have that really high octane style of play. But that could actually work to our advantage given the pace of our top men. So in the end, I will end up sticking with my heart on this one because I genuinely think we've got enough big game experience now, and with the fitness and freshness of some of our returning stars, I think this is going to cement our claim that we are genuine sort of title contenders here. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 as well, Rob and Scott.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and just confirming 2-1 Chelsea, yeah?
Yeah, whatever Daniel says is right.
Done. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the live chat because this is a big one. Honestly, it's a huge match. George is keen as a neutral observer. Aren't we all, George? Look, let's hope they both drop points but provide plenty of entertainment along the way. FPL Abadaki is calling a 0-0, saying it's very early in the season for a big game. Davide wishes both teams are at full strength. What a game it would be. I agree. Mr. Sparks calling a 2-1 win for Chelsea, saying Lukaku will spin Virgil Van Dijk easily. I don't know, man. Virgil Van Dijk.
That's a big call.
He's not Pablo Mari. He's a big step up. VJ is saying he wants to say Chelsea win, but he thinks Liverpool 2-1.
Let's package all of that and throw it out the window. We don't need that negativity here.
No, good. Declared. And then you go from VJ, a realistic fan, to declared saying Chelsea easy 2-0 win. I don't think the word easy is going to be anywhere in this fixture, but who knows? Who knows? George thinks Salah could expose Alonso's defensive weakness. So I know there was some chat then saying Alonso may not play.
And that's concerning, actually, things to why that we probably won't. And he's actually started the last couple of games on a merit-based system. He has been very good, but it's the opposition he's versing against as well. Whereas I think Chilwell's more defensively astute, can handle the pace better, and that's why I think he's been saved to be integrated back into this game. If Alonso does start, I admit that it will probably give me some cause for concern because of that aspect alone.
Interesting call, man. Interesting call. VJ saying Trent's position is what Chelsea will have to exploit. And they did that very well against Arsenal. They exploited our side that had pushed up too far. Anthony's calling 1-0 to Chelsea. VJ has a question for you, RJ, but we'll just do 2 more comments before that. Mr. Spark saying he thinks Chelsea are favourites of the title. I agree, mate. That they were my prediction at the start of the season. And Ben seeing it as a 1-1. But VJ's got a question for you. He's sceptical about who will cover Diogo Jota, who has been brilliant. He's quick at the feet. Do you think Christensen can handle him?
Yeah, I do. It's actually because we've got a lot of depth. So this answers the whole question, are we sort of favourites? We have improved a lot in our defensive ranks as well. So we've got Thiago Silva there, who's been fresh and waiting to come back from the wings. And obviously young Trevor Chalobah, who's been playing well rested against Arsenal. And Rudiger, who's a stalwart now in the left centre-back spot, LCB. So for me, do I think Christensen's got enough to handle him? Well, I've got to say he's been low-key one of our better performing defenders. He's had a couple of nervy moments like every defender does in a match, but for the most part, he's working really well with his partners. So I'm quite keen to see who lines up in that back three, and especially where does Azpilicueta go? Does he start in the wing-back spot because he's more defensive-minded, and that means Reece James drops out? So that's the thing with a Tuchel team. If you can guess it, then you've got a pretty good brain, I've got to say. He's quite tricky.
Good shout. Let's move on. Before we do, Sam, welcome, Sam. Nice to see you here, the new face. After watching Arsenal's performance against West Brom, what's your prediction against City? For me, I did call that one early on. I've said 1-1. I think we're going to trouble City. And City, to me, still need a striker. So I'm going 1-1 there, definitely. And last word can go to Daniel on this one. Hey, lads, late to the chat, but a huge fixture. As a Chelsea fan, I'd take a draw, but I'm not sure how good Liverpool are yet. Look, the theme of that conversation seems to be that no one's calling it easily. This could go either way. Both teams are good enough.
Except declared.
Except declared, but
he declared it, mate. He declared it's an easy game. We'll take
this is why we love him. Next one, second last fixture for the round. Hopefully, I haven't missed any this week. Amateur hour. Burnley hosting Leeds. Your thoughts, Robbie?
Yeah, no, you look at this one and my eyes are going straight to Leeds, but I think Burnley, I was quite impressed with them against the Liverpool game for some reason. I don't know, they could maybe go for a draw here, maybe a 1-1. I don't think it'll be a rollover job. Burnley at home, like I said, they created chances against Liverpool. I'm going to go for a bit of an upset. I'll go Burnley 1-1. Or 1-1, sorry, not Burnley 1-1.
Interesting. RJ, what about you, man?
Yeah, I like that call, to be honest, because it's almost two sides of the coin in one space. You've got one really defensively minded organisation set up from Sean Dyche, who I thought they did a really good job in trying to come back from Liverpool the other day. But Leeds, again, they're just, when they're on, they're really hard to contain. And you just got to think, if they can get on the front foot nice and early, they can really blow Burnley apart here. I don't think that's going to be a case, but I do think they'll get the job done. And I'm going to go 2-1 to Leeds.
Interesting. As it's already been said in the live chat, smash that like button if you haven't already subscribed. And if you have subscribed, tell a friend about it. Bring a friend back on Tuesday night when we look back at all these fixtures. I'm sure it'll be absolutely brilliant. For me, boys, I think it's Leeds in this one. I think they'll attack Burnley really well, put Burnley on the back foot. We know that Burnley can play the low block. They can frustrate teams, but like you said, I think it was you, Robbie, they can create chances too. I am going for a 2-1 to Leeds here, though. Now, I think there'll be a couple of goals, though. Let's have a look at the live chat. 2-0 to Leeds. Sam saying that Burnley may cause an upset. Yeah. And look, I don't even know if it would necessarily be a huge upset because Burnley have earned themselves a reputation as a team that can fight. At the very least, boys, you'd all agree, Burnley are fighters. They're not a
yeah, and that comes down to Sean Dyche, Scott. Like he's, if not anything else, like we always say, the old adage, there's no easy games in the Premier League. But I believe they really typify that. They're not the most blessed or skillful of players, but collectively as a unit, you really have to work hard because they're not just going to give you the win. So yeah, Leicester's really got to be up for this. It's not going to happen for them magically.
100% agree. Burnley's call. VJ's calling a Burnley 2-1 win, shouting out to Leeds' leaky defence. Mr. Sparks, 2-1 win to Leeds. Has declared that Leeds will break the doors of Burnley. Steve, I think, just joining us. Welcome, Steve. We did talk about Arsenal City. I don't think we beat them, man. I'm going for 1-1 though. But welcome, Steve. Nice to have you here. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Would love to have you back. David saying Burnley are a well-structured team, very organised and disciplined, but Leeds' pace should blow them wide open. 3-0. David, that's a big call, man. Big call. Definitely no Leeds bias there. Steve shouting out the early kickoffs favour City. Yeah, Arsenal hate them. I agree. Ben's saying 3-1 to Leeds. So bit of a mixed bag, but I know I'm going to go with the resident Leeds correspondent in Davide. Leeds win this for me. All right, one more, boys. And Robbie, I think you're probably the man to start us off by talking about it. Wolves, Manchester United.
Yes, I feel like we play Wolves about 6 times a year sometimes. And it's always nearly the same score. It's rather a 0-0 draw, or a 1-1 draw, or a 1-0 win to us. So, look, I think it all depends on how Ollie's is he going to throw our shiny new toys that everyone wants to play this week, which we need to. I'm hoping Brian and Sancho do start. Wolves have impressed me the last 2 weeks, man. They've they don't just sit back. They've broken, I think it was Leicester and Tottenham. They've both played and they've created chances. Obviously, Troy hasn't had his finishing boots on, but I do think we will get the job done, and I will go for a 1-0 to us. But I think I'll be close, but.
Interesting. RJ, how about you, man?
You have to echo those sentiments because I think, like I said, Wolves, they did lose against Tottenham, but very unlucky, very, very unlucky to get that result, unfortunately. Had poor Traore, been a bit more efficient, we're talking about Wolves in a bit more favourable light for this game. I really like their new manager. I think he's going to do well with them this season. But I think United, they're going to that result, that's an outlier against the result they had on the weekend against Southampton. And I think they're going to bounce back. And in the end, I'm going to take them 2-1.
Yeah, look, hard to go past Man United for me, to be completely honest. And I'll just Turn those on. Yeah, for me, hard to go past United. I think they'll have too much. I do agree with you, RJ, that the Southampton result was an outlier, and they'll be back to business. You haven't had a penalty in a couple of games, have you? Did you get a penalty in round one?
We haven't had a penalty at all yet, mate.
Yeah, it's coming. Bruno's step up penalty. He's in my fantasy team too. So, yeah, I'm going Manchester United 2-0 here. I think they'll have too much. But shout out to Wolves, because I thought once Nuno left, they would really just drop.
I'm just worried because they're coming off the back of 2 losses. That's what's worrying me. They've been playing good. So
yeah,
it will be a hard game. That's why I've only gone for a 1-0.
I guess you'd have to have faith, though, that if the performances are there and it's just a bit of luck that's eventually let you down, that could turn. Like, it's easier to fix the luck element than the performance. So if the performance is there, I think Wolves shouldn't be a risk of going down, boys, at all. You agree?
Yeah, early days, man. No, I think they'll be right.
I see them being hovering around that 10 to 12 mark, to be honest, like in and around that area.
Agree.
Easy. Let's have a look at some of the comments in the live chat. Steve has subscribed. Thank you, Steve. Great to have you. We do normally have the names on in the box, but StreamYard's being a bit of a pain in the neck. But Robbie's the Man United fan. The bold one with the party hat over there is RJ, and Scott the Gooner. Mr. Sparks is calling 4-1 win here for United. Davide is calling Podence double, Bruno penalty 2-1. Wow. This is why you're not our Manchester United correspondent, mate. Stick to Leeds. VJ saying United 3 and Wolves not scoring. George, a Man United fan, saying we always draw away at the Molineux. 1-1 written all over it.
They're a hard team there, man, honestly.
100%. There are no easy games in this league. FPL Rubber Ducky, 2-0 United. Wolves put up a good fight. Steve saying United always find a way to beat Wolves. They've had some tough results, though, haven't you, Robbie, over the years?
Yeah, like I said, man, it's always low scoring. 1-1, 0-0, 1-0. It's very similar every year.
Yeah, I think you'll take them this time, though. Dan's joining us, a bit late, but we're all good, Dan. And how could you not be good after a 6-0 win, hey, against juggernauts of the championship? So I'm pumped. RJ's happy. He's got his party hat on, and Robbie looks pretty chill as usual. You're all good, though, aren't you, boys?
Got my coffee, mate. I'm happy. I'm on my 3rd short black already.
Love it.
Top of the league, son's birthday. What else can you complain? Champions of Europe. What else we want to say, mate?
Aren't West Ham top of the league?
Yeah, I know. I like.
Yeah, but we're on the joint top. Aren't any of you joint top? Didn't think so.
Joint top. You're not getting an award for joint top, mate.
But you do for winning the Champions League. Greenwood
goal again. Everyone forgetting how good he's been. Well, mate, he could be coming into my fantasy team. We'll talk about that shortly. Scott, I forgot 2 games. Dan was awake for 22 hours the other day, but his eyes are open. I think I'm pretty good for this match week, though. I don't think I forgot any. If I have, this is your chance to tell me, guys.
This is the live chat. This is they help us. We're not perfect.
Yeah. You're part of the show, guys. You're not an audience. You're part of the crew. 1-1 from declared. Steve's come here from seeing you, my man RJ. You brought him over. He's seeing you on RCB and the Blue Lounge. So welcome. Joint top. Sound like a United fan.
Is that an insult?
I have missed one. I have.
Aston Villa, yeah.
Come on,
Aston Villa.
Dropping the ball again.
Oh, mate, I don't know what's going on. I honestly don't know what's going on.
And Spurs Watford, I think.
I have. I've forgotten to again. I did it last week.
Mate, apologise to Daniel, mate.
Daniel, you know what? Next week, I'm going to sit this one. I'm going to sit it out. Maybe you need to take my seat. We'll have a special guest, Daniel, hosting in my place. Amateur hour. Aston Villa, Brentford, boys.
I'm going to go for... It's at Villa, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go 3-1 Villa, but I'm hoping Tony gets on the score sheet, mate. This guy scored all these goals in the championship. I put him in my fantasy team. I want him on the score sheet. I'll go 3-1 Villa.
Interesting. What about you, RJ?
Yeah, I think they'll have too much for them. They'll put up a fight, but I think too much class, and hopefully we get another banger in from Ings, what an instinctive finish that was. Had to drop it in there. An Ings credible goal, as they would say. No, enough with that. They're going to win 2-0, okay? We'll go with that.
I know I forgot 2 fixtures, and this is a preview show, but that's pretty bad too. I'm just saying. For
Stop
me,
deflecting.
I'm going with Aston Villa. I think Villa will do Brentford 1-0. And the final one we're going to talk about is Spurs-Watford. The reason I left it as because it's Spurs. You know I have no love for Spurs. Can't stand them. To me, I think they'll win this, though. They've actually looked all right. Defence has been solid. I'm going with Spurs to keep up the 1-0s. Robbie?
Yeah, agree. I think Spurs, and like now that we'll talk about it soon, but Kane's kind of said I'm staying. I think he possibly could start. He might want to get on the score sheet just to show his loyal, or not loyalness maybe, but I think they're going to go for a 2-0, a strong win. They could even be top of the table for the international break.
There you go. What about you, Arch?
Now, Rob, no need for that profanity about Spurs on top of the ladder. None of that, mate. We're trying to keep this show clean. But no, I agree with you, mate. As much as that hurts my heart to say it, I think that could really be a big shot, a boost of injection for them, having Kane come out with that emphatic statement saying he's staying, he's buoyed by the Spurs fans, etc. It's almost like another new signing, and what a signing he would be for any team. So, yeah, I think they're going to win this game and win it reasonably, not comfortably, but put in a reasonably good performance and take it out. Agreed, 2-0.
Yeah, there you go.
Their front four has been really good between Son, Bergwijn, Lucas Moura, and obviously going to throw in Harry Kane on the counter-attack, man. They look really good.
Certainly makes them stronger, doesn't he? Just quickly from the live chat, we have 2-2 draw there. I think that was I'm pretty sure that was for the Aston Villa game.
Okay.
That might have been for that. Just correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Dan saying Tony is an FPL fraud. Dan, nice hat, RJ. Is it a glitch for you is it glitch day?
No, it's not. It's as I said at the start of the stream, it's my son Sebastian's 6th birthday. So in honor of him, I thought I'd wear a nice hat.
And Mr. Spark saying 3-1 Spurs. Yeah, we don't like saying their name. It's like Voldemort. Boys, obviously with this game week coming up, I know you boys have your wild cards. Let's do a quick little bit of FPL chat. If you've got anything you want to add, if you don't, we'll jump straight to transfers. But for me, I'm at a little bit of a tricky point because I've had Ivan Toney in there, and it's not proved fruitful. I have a feel I want to get him out, but in order to get him out and bring in Antonio, I need to raise some money. So I'm a little bit behind. I'm happy to give you guys a quick look at my team, just so you can see what Borg's rocking at the moment. I have no doubt no one's going to try and copy me. But
trade secrets, Scott. Trade secrets, mate.
The secret is that I'm not very good at the moment. That's what I'm rocking at the moment. I had Duffy on the bench this week, which caused me absolute grief. Because he scored a whole bunch of points. But I have bought in Ben Rama this week. I can't quite remember who I got rid of, but bought in Ben Rama. I thought he needed to be in while he's cheap. And I'm really, really looking to bring in Antonio as well. But I've already taken a 4-point hit, so definitely don't want to do it again. I am thinking about the unthinkable. I'm thinking about removing Bruno. I'm thinking if I had a wild card, I would take out Fernandes and just completely rework this team. But I'm also rocking double Spurs defenders, boys.
Yeah, Reguilon's a good shout. Reguilon's a good shout. Couple clean sheets. He's always attacking. That's a good shout.
And Eric Dyer seems to be a key part of Nuno's plan. So he's been playing. So definitely rocking them. Declared saying might be time for Son to go with Kane staying, maybe.
Good point.
In FPL Rubber Ducky saying the top 3K secret was West Ham and Greenwood. Yeah. And Ben saying bring in Tsimikas to Duffy. I'm not sure if he's...
Robbo's coming back in, mate. Tsimikas was good for 2 weeks. A bit of a cash cow. He's on my bench now. I didn't get rid of him yet, but he was a good cash cow. And he got good points last week. But Robbo will definitely come in for this.
Tom saying someone sent Scott some help getting rid of Bruno. I haven't done it yet. I just said I'm thinking about it, Tom.
Use your wild card, Scott.
Yeah, well, declared if only you had a wild card. FPL Rubber no, keep Bruno, never go double defense. Yep, fair call. You're definitely in a tier above me. But that's my team. I don't know. Did you guys want me to chuck yours up, or was there anything
Bring
you
it
wanted
up,
to
bring it up. Yeah, bring it up, Borgie, if you want, quickly.
All right, let me bear with me. I've got to find Robbie's team here.
But maybe while that's taking place, if anybody had any sort of recommendations or pitfalls of players that you thought would bang but have busted so far, feel free to pop them in the chat, and we can revel in it together.
Well, this is you, Robbie, at the moment. Have you made any changes?
Yeah, I just made the one change this week. I had some money in my account. Is it this week's one or what?
These were your points to the last match week.
Okay, yeah, because for my new team, I'm pretty sure I had some money in the bank. I traded out Gilmore and just to get some more money up, and I bring in Ben Rama. So pretty much as the West Ham game was on, I bring him in before his price went up. So I think his price did go up 0.1. So I got a bit of extra, or an extra $0.1 there. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the team besides that. Like I said, Ben Rama looks really good in West Ham at the moment. He got a goal, he got assist. I've also got Antonio up front, so they're really linking up well together. The one that I wanted to take out this week, he's doing my head in, is Luka Dean, mate. Oh, if I had two transfers this week, he would have been out the door. He got 0 points last week, and Everton's the fixtures always look good. He hasn't done nothing, so
they've not lived up.
I'm gonna give him one more chance because I already used my one transfer of the week, and then he's gone after that if he doesn't perform.
Yeah, bit of a theme of placing faith. Dan's placed his faith in Havertz. Hasn't worked out so far. I had Havertz in my original team too, Dan, but he went when I brutally swung the wild card axe.
My tip of the week, I reckon Mount is gonna get points this week for an assist, and I really think I'm gonna say Lukaku is not gonna score. I picked Chelsea to win, but I reckon Lukaku won't get on the score sheet. Maybe in the
hot take. And in fact, last game Chelsea played at Anfield. You might recall Mason Mount scored an absolute pearler of a goal as well. He cut back in on the left, and he went straight across Fabinho into the bottom corner. It's a really nice goal.
Yeah, I can see Lukaku like holding him up and then like they're playing off him and something like that. So I reckon no goal for Lukaku, but Chelsea win still.
Interesting. Good tip. RJ, did you have anything you wanted to add? Did you want me to bring your team up, or you happy?
Yeah, show it, just to give a bit of diversity, to show how not to play this type of game, just to give people a bit of recommendation.
Buy me some time, boys. I've got to scroll all the way down.
Yes, so you can just type in the last page or whatever it is. No, but look, for me, I actually it doesn't make too much of a difference on the score, but for some reason, I mustn't have saved my captain, vice captain as I thought I had, and it gave me a few points dropped off, but I need to make a couple of changes this week, so you can see that's not how. So that's my points.
Yeah, that's from last week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look, for me, like I said with Dan, same thing. We both burned by the Havertz at the moment, just because he hasn't been getting as much time and hasn't been as influential as we thought he would be at the moment, and that's because of the plethora of talent around him. So he's probably up for discussion. Let's put it that way. Gilmore too, because he hasn't been performing the way I like, but he's not getting that much money if I did trade him out. For me, look, I don't know how much wrong there is with this team at the moment. Like there is probably a couple of weak spots. Maybe there's a bit too much money spent in the back line there, but for the most part, like I've got Amadi there. He's not done anything for me, so he might. But they've got Norwich next up, so I think I've got a bit of confidence. Although, see, Salah, Pogba. I brought Pogba in last week just for FYI. Where is Lukaku? Where's my 12.5 million or whatever he costs? That's what I'd say. I need to trade out somebody. So I'm not quite sure I want to put him in just because he's super expensive, but he's definitely in my thoughts. Probably for me, I'll be making changes towards the back line there with Amadi and even Alexander-Arnold now that he's really up against it this week.
Play the wild card.
Live chat.
I'll think about that.
Live chat. Give us let us know who you're on for captain this week, because I think it's a hard week. I think Antonio might be a shout for captain, but let us know your thoughts.
All right, boys. And always nice to talk FPL. Let's quickly talk some transfers while the live chat tells us who they're captaining this week. Not a huge amount going on, but I did kind of want to start with Harry Kane. It's not so much a transfer move. It's more now that one has broken down. There was a lot of talk. Obviously, the talk of the town's been him going to City. He's come out now. He said, I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere this summer. I think the keywords are this summer. I wonder if there's been a gentleman's agreement, but that seems to be that for Manchester City and Harry Kane. He's got to now continue never winning a trophy. Did this shock you, Robbie?
Nah, man, but I think we discussed that as we got closer to, like, the window is not that far off. We all kind of said, look, Daniel Levy, very stubborn. He's getting close to the end of the window. I think they went as far as, nearly 150 million, and he still rejected it. So he wants him there, and that's it. I don't think they would have been able to bring in a replacement, man. And if they did, everyone would have been skyrocketing prices of their strikers to replace him with as well.
Yeah, I agree. RJ, you shocked?
Not at all. I thought the only thing I'm shocked about really is I thought maybe City might have gone a little bit higher, but now that option seems to be off the table. Although you can never say never. Very low chance that that's going to happen. It's a good thing for Spurs, and I actually think it's a good thing for the rest of the competition in the sense of if he went to City, it would have really given them a big boost. So I'm glad he didn't go, to be honest.
Yeah. Declared's captaining Jamie Vardy this week.
Nice.
Daniel's saying get Mendy for your goalkeeper. Chelsea Perspective's in the house. Welcome, Chelsea Perspective. Nice to have you here, my man. Declared wants the ladder. Declared, we go through the ladder on Tuesday nights, brother. So hopefully you're not in the top 10 by then. So when we look at it on Tuesday, you're not there because of all the banter you've been giving me lately. I want to look at this one. This I want to talk about, and I want to start with you, Rob. Ronaldo, Manchester City. I know that Tom over on the United podcast spoke about this earlier. I didn't get to tune in live. I will. Did you watch that one, Robbie?
Yeah, it was last night, that one, man.
What are your thoughts, and what were the boys' thoughts?
I think a lot of people are in the same boat, man. Like, I'll just be amazed if it happens, man. I said straight away, it's not happening. It's not happening. I am getting a little bit nervous. You keep getting these tweets. I'm getting a lot of, because obviously as a United and a Juve fan, man, I'm getting a lot of information from over in Italy from like few of their like Fabrizio's over there and stuff. But look, from a Juve perspective, I think it's good for Ronaldo to part ways. I think the team will go better without him because they're very reliant on Ronaldo. Everything goes through him, and it's not working. But I mean, to go to City, a lot of people have said he'll be dead to him. It's just I think he's got too much respect for United and for Fergie. For me, I know you're Borg. You have you're the whole with there's no loyalty in football anymore. But
I did tune into it yesterday, didn't I? Because I remember.
Yeah, you did. You commented. Look, mate, I don't want it to happen. I'm obviously, mate, like I said, from being a Juve and a United fan, I have so much love. He's one of my favourite players. Followed him his whole career. For him to go to City, that's a knife to the heart, mate. It really would be a knife to the heart. And I can't see it, man. I'd rather him go to PSG, especially if Mbappe goes. Go to PSG, go play with Messi like everyone wants. Don't go to City, man.
Well, all right. Take your Man United hat off just for a minute. Okay, I know it's hard. I know there's emotional attachment. You would rather see him go to PSG with Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, and everyone else than come to Manchester City.
Yeah, even as a neutral, mate.
Are you speaking as Rob, the Man United fan, or are you speaking as Rob, a football fan? Because if he goes to PSG, to me, that's Super League-esque. That's an absolute farce. It proves that there's no FPL, proves that the corruption is rife, and I'll be happy we're not in the Champions League because you guys aren't winning it. No one's even going to get a look in if he ends up there as well.
We've had this discussion before, mate. Just because you have all these stars doesn't mean they're going to win the Champions League. But like I said, we're just talking about Harry Kane as we're all neutrals for Tottenham and Harry Kane going to City. It's the same thing. If I was a neutral, why would you want? Do you want to see City strengthened with Ronaldo?
Well, they're nowhere near our league. It's more about seeing Spurs weekends.
Arjo, would you like to see a Ronaldo at City and them more strengthened? I personally can't see him under Pep for starters. I just can't see the two.
Well, to be honest, I don't know, man. Like, for me, I know it's a bit controversial, but I'm not sure how much he strengthens either side, to be honest. Like, not materially. This isn't the same Ronaldo that was 3-4 years ago. He's a good player. Obviously, he's one of the best. But he's, like you said, is he even going to be a guaranteed starter, at either side, to be honest? And like at Juventus, it hasn't worked out. Like, I know he's still getting individually good stats, but collectively the side hasn't improved. In fact, they've had one of their worst seasons. It's not obviously down to him, but the fact that they've structured their gameplay around him, is he going to be the kind of guy that rocks up to PSG or City and says, "Yep, I'm happy to play second fiddle"? No, and is that going to be good? So I'd even go so far as to say if he was to go to PSG, he actually hurts their chances of winning the Champions League, because I think there'd be a lot of background turmoil in terms of the locker room, who's the bigger personality, etc. So
actually, but you know what? I think if he goes to City, he is the big fish there. He becomes the face of Man City straight away, and him playing in front of Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish. Look at their midfield. De Bruyne
would be huge for him, I think.
He would come in. Now, Juventus may have wanted to structure their team to play to his strengths, but Juventus's midfield and Manchester City's midfield, I think there's much more quality at Man City in mid. I know you might think otherwise, Robbie, but
with midfield, I agree with you. We haven't, Juve haven't got the greatest midfield, but I don't see him under Pep, number one. And it's just, like I said, we've seen a couple players over the years, like you said, in the later years go, the swap overs between the two Manchester clubs. But this is like real Ronaldo going to Barcelona. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, it's just, I just don't see it happening, man. I can't see it happening. And neutral fan or United fan, I don't want to see it happening, man. I just think he'll destroy his legacy.
Yeah, but does it destroy his legacy if he comes and wins the Premier League, the Champions League? It damages his Manchester United legacy. It doesn't damage his legacy. It damages his legacy as much as it damages Messi's selling out and going to PSG where it's easy money.
Why? For him to go there, and win trophies, it'll be it's another domestic league, another country that is won trophies in. So he would have won in Spain, he would have won in England, he would have won in Italy. Why not throw Spain, throw France in there too, mate?
Nah, to win, I think to win in that PSG team. So what if you win the French league there?
No, but to win the Champions League, that would be a big thing, mate. Him and Messi together, everyone wants to see it.
No, yeah, I think United fans do, but I don't know, RJ. You're the middleman on this one. Do you think it tarnishes his legacy, or does? I'm of the opinion it just tarnishes his Man United legacy, because quite frankly, I won't think, even if I didn't like him, I'm not going to think less of him for going to City. I couldn't give two hoots if it upsets Manchester United fans. Good on them. They sold us Mikel Silvestre back in the day. You deserve all the pain you get for selling us that guy. What do you think, RJ? Does it damage his legacy? And what do you think of this comment from Tom?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because he's a United legend at heart, and of course it's going to hurt if he goes to your rivals, especially they are the more dominant out of the two over the last 5 to 10 years. So naturally, you wouldn't want to see him, of all people, go there and thrive. Can you imagine if they won the Premier League? Put it this way: can you imagine if he came back to City and they won the treble, like the proper treble with City over United? That would be a knife through the heart if I was a United fan. But look, to be honest with you, if I'm him, I'd be weighing up the options. Who am I more likely to succeed with? Both are very, very strong, but I think PSG, given how much they've invested, they should really backheel, moonwalk their way to the League One title. And not only that, pretty much book themselves a quarterfinal/semi-final spot, if not further, in the Champions League. And Rob's right, I agree, in the sense of being historical and helping PSG win a Champions League for the first time would add to his legacy. But equally, he might feel he's still not at the peak of his powers, but close enough. and coming back and still writing history in the best league, we'll call it quote unquote, would be equally attractive for someone who's as competitive as he is. Would he be willing to go, and I would call it a downgrade, go play in a different competition despite being in top class players? Or would he prefer to be in an equally strong team in the best league of all, knowing he's going to get the most spotlight? So it is a tough one, but I would agree that it would hurt his legacy for sure, at least the United one.
Just quickly as well with the legacy, just say, it might be crazy, but I don't think it's accurate. If he came back to the Premier League and flopped, imagine going out on his career after like he's didn't, everyone's going to be thinking of the United Ronaldo. And like I said, yes, he's gone to Spain, different to the Premier League. He's gone to Italy now, he's 36. I'm not saying he can't do it back in the Premier League. It would remind me of when Ibrahimovic came and played for us. But if he did come back and he just wasn't up to that Premier League pace anymore, mate, it would look terrible.
But do you think he's the kind of player that's scared of a challenge, or is he someone that steps up and wants to do?
Definitely not. That's one person. Ronaldo is definitely not scared of a challenge. But I'm saying if it wasn't happening for him and he wasn't putting up the big stats that everyone thinks he's going to get, like I said, he was the top. He outscored Lukaku last year. Everyone's so excited about Lukaku. In the Serie A, he still outscored him. But to come back to the Premier League, and like I said, just say he did go to a city, he might not get all those goals, or he might not get all the game time that he thinks. And I reckon if he didn't get peak, a lot of people might say, Ronaldo flopped or something.
Yeah, but equally, Robbie, if he goes to PSG, now his whole career, it's been him and Messi. Like, who's the GOAT? Who's the best of the two? Now, if the structures, that Messi's already got Neymar there, and they're very tight. If those two have that chemistry and Messi bangs over there and Ronaldo's not as good, I actually think to him it comes out as, look, Ronaldo's only managed to score 20 goals, Messi's scored 30. Messi's the GOAT. It hurts his legacy there because he's directly in competition with him every week. And Messi's already got there first. Messi's got a really good mate there. I just think it would hurt him going to PSG too. And if Ibrahimovic can come back and survive in the Premier League, Ronaldo can certainly. I don't think it's a question of would he flop, because he wouldn't flop. He's too good a player. We're talking one of the greatest players of all time. But look, I would love to see it happen just purely.
He might go to Arsenal's squad. He might see it's an opportunity there, mate. Take the Gunners back up to the Premier League next season. We almost
signed him. We almost got him, but that's a story for another day. Let's see what the live chat's saying. Davide would rather see him return to Lisbon. Look, I think that would be kind of the romantic fairy tale ending, wouldn't it? I would love to see that too.
I don't think he'll go there.
No,
they can't afford him.
No, absolutely not. Mr. Sparks, he strengthens anyone in the Prem, even Chelsea. Yeah, fair call. Look, he's, again, one of the best players of all time. He strengthens anybody. Ronaldo should go to China, make a lot of money. They could pay him double his salary. Look, I think if he was an athlete who was motivated purely by the money, maybe, or the MLS, but he seems to me like he's still got that competitor's fire. So Dan saying Ronaldo to City is all kind of wrong. That would just be strange. I think Dan's just a little bit scared that Chelsea might then have some competition.
Not with Lukaku, mate. Definitely not. And I'll just say quickly on the Lukaku thing, he might have outscored him, but he buried 23 out of his 29 goals from penalties and only got 2 assists, whereas Lukaku, rather than scoring all, he's actually got double-digit of assists as well. So, stats could be a bit misleading when you're looking at him only from a goal scorer's point of view.
I forgot the penalties don't count. I forgot.
I'd rather take penalties than try to score him from 20 yards out, that's for sure.
Lukaku, best centre mid in the Serie A then. Best creative midfielder, hey?
And goal scorer too, second best.
You seem to have a habit of taking strikers who just create rather than score. And here we go. Couple more. Mr. Sparks backing up my point. You also sold us Mkhitaryan and you destroyed Alexis. Yeah, look, I want you guys to suffer.
He was destroyed when he came to us. Thank you very much.
Please. Steve saying he thinks City want Ronaldo free, but Juve want money. Well, I think it depends on the finances, but maybe that's one for another day. Dan's not scared of the competition. Bring Ronaldo and Kane. We'll beat them both. Love it, Dan. Love the confidence. If he goes to City, would he no longer be a Man United legend. I think Rob's made his thoughts clear. If he pulls on that City jersey, he's done, right?
Another Messi fanboy. Beautiful.
Yeah. Now, it'd be kind of like Man City's truest legend, Frank Lampard. He's one of their golden boys. But look,
Hey,
boys,
he can do it.
when we split these shows, we kind of said to each other, we had a little bit of a meeting and had a yarn. We said, it's probably going to be shorter now that we split them for 2. But we've gone over an hour both times. So I know Robbie's got work in the morning. I'm a little bit tired myself. RJ, you want to wrap this thing up?
Well, I just want to say thanks to the live chat because we said we talk about let's keep this short, sharp, and sweet. But part of this is the live chat. So thanks for keeping it buzzing. And again, please like and subscribe just because we are trying to reach that wider audience to keep these conversations cracking. And obviously your help with that is imperative. But the boys, it's been a great chat. And as I said, I've been celebrating my son's birthday, but this has been equally as entertaining, I can assure you. And continuing to chat with you has been a real highlight of my week. And I'm sure it's the same with you boys. But thank you again. Stay safe. Any final words, guys, before we plug it out?
From me, have a good week, everyone. Enjoy the weekend of football. Don't forget, we are back on Tuesday night. If you could share this with a friend, if your partner hasn't subscribed yet, get your partner to subscribe. If your kids haven't subscribed, get them on there too. We really want to hit that 500, and we're going to need your help and support getting us there. So come along for the journey. Robbie?
Yeah, boys, same as what you guys said. Stay safe, everyone. Enjoy the weekend of football. Can't wait to see you back Tuesday night.
And with that, guys, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening or wherever you are. And until then, stay safe, take care, and enjoy the week of the beautiful game.
Good evening.